History is full of astonishing secrets and mind-blowing moments that rarely make it to the classroom. Today, we uncover 10 incredible historical facts from across the globe that you probably didn't know about. So, sit back and get ready to be amazed. Number 1. The execution of a pig in France, 1386. In medieval Europe, justice took bizarre turns, as animals were sometimes put on trial for their actions. Believe it or not, a pig in Falaise, France, was sentenced to death for mutilating and killing a baby. The trial was treated with utmost seriousness, complete with a judge, jury, and even legal representation for the pig. This wasn't a one-off incident. During this period, animals like roosters, dogs, and even rats were brought to court for various crimes. One case in 1519 saw moles accused of destroying farmland in the Alps, but they were given safe passage to leave the area. These peculiar trials reflect a fascinating mix of superstition, law, and society's unique approach to justice during the Middle Ages. Number 2. Diane Weber, the model who pushed boundaries. Born as Marguerite Diane Empey, Diane Weber was more than just a 1950s model. She first caught attention in Los Angeles as a talented ballet dancer, studying under Maria Beffi. Her career transitioned to the entertainment world as she became a beloved figure in men's magazines and modeled for iconic vinyl record covers. What truly set Diane apart, though, was her bold embrace of nudism, challenging societal norms. By the 1960s, she became a belly dance instructor, combining her grace as a dancer with her trailblazing personality. Diane's story is a reminder of how some individuals challenge conventions and leave their mark on history. Number 3. Russia ran out of vodka. After World War II. Russia's love affair with vodka is no secret, but few know that the nation actually ran out of it. On May 9, 1945, Russians celebrated their victory over Nazi Germany with an explosive 22-hour vodka-fueled party. By the next day, the entire country's vodka reserves had been drained dry. Vodka wasn't just a celebratory drink, it was a lifeline. During the famine of the 1930s, vodka production was prioritized to stabilize the economy, contributing up to 20% of the Soviet government's revenue. The post-war shortage of vodka, however, was a sobering reminder of the sacrifices and challenges Russia endured. Number 4. The Impostors of Louis Charles. The tragic fate of Louis Charles, the son of Marie Antoinette, left France in mourning, but it also gave rise to one of history's most puzzling phenomena. After his death, at least 60 impostors stepped forward, each claiming to be the lost heir to the French throne. Some were motivated by greed, others by delusions, but all sought to capitalize on the mystery surrounding Louis Charles's fate. Adding to the intrigue, the boy's preserved heart was discovered years later and confirmed to be his through DNA testing, yet the allure of the lost prince continues to fascinate historians. Number 5. George Washington never lived in the White House. Although George Washington oversaw the construction of the White House and laid its cornerstone in 1792, he never had the opportunity to call it home. By the time the building was completed in 1800, Washington had already passed away. It was John Adams, the second president of the United States, who became the first to reside in the iconic residence, moving in alongside his wife, Abigail. The White House has been a silent witness to countless pivotal moments in American history. It survived the devastating fires set by British forces during the War of 1812 and has undergone extensive renovations, particularly under President Harry S. Truman in the mid-20th century. Despite these changes, George Washington's legacy is deeply embedded in its history. Though he never lived within its walls, his vision for the presidency and the nation's capital continues to resonate, leaving a lasting mark on one of the most recognizable symbols of American leadership. Number 6. Independence Day didn't happen on July 4th. While July 4th is widely celebrated as America's Independence Day, the truth is a bit more complex. The Continental Congress officially voted for independence on July 2, 1776, marking the formal decision to break away from British rule. However, the final wording of the Declaration of Independence wasn't approved until July 4th, which is why this date became so iconic. Adding to the timeline, the public didn't hear the declaration until July 8, 1776, when it was first read aloud in Philadelphia's Independence Square. Despite these discrepancies, July 4th emerged as the symbolic date for celebrations, thanks to early traditions and the widespread association of this day with America's fight for freedom. Over time, it became more than just a historical marker. It evolved into a nationwide celebration of independence, filled with fireworks, parades, and patriotic pride. Isn't it fascinating how traditions take on a life of their own? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Number 7. 8 signers of the Declaration were British. Of the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence, 8 were born in Britain. These individuals risked everything by opposing the crown, with many losing their fortunes or facing harsh consequences during the Revolutionary War. Interestingly, 41 signers were slave owners, though some, like Benjamin Franklin and John Adams, were outspoken abolitionists. The contradictions of the Declaration's ideals versus its signers' personal practices reveal the complexities of the era. Number 8. Abraham Lincoln, the tallest U.S. president. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches, 193 centimeters, Abraham Lincoln holds the title of the tallest president in U.S. history. His height gave him a commanding presence, especially during public appearances and speeches. Interestingly, Lincoln wasn't the only tall figure in American politics. His opponent in the 1852 presidential election, Winfield Scott, was even taller at 6 feet 5 inches, 196 centimeters. Lincoln's height, combined with his wit and leadership, made him a memorable and iconic figure.